Hey there, it's Marvina. Welcome to my Angel Q&A. In today's video, I have some answers from the angels about this current virus situation. One of the questions that was sent in to me is, Marvina, is this actually a global psychic attack? And I absolutely feel like it is a global psychic attack of huge magnitude, probably one of the worst psychic attacks in the history of humankind. And I feel like, and this answers another question that was brought in, is what on earth did humanity do to deserve this kind of horrible virus, and how it's affecting everybody? And it ties in with the first question. And for one thing, it's as a mass conscious, there have been too many of us that have sort of gotten lazy, and we haven't really done our spiritual work, and little, if any, that we get caught up in making a living, taking care of business, taking care of the kids and the laundry, and we have totally forgot to work through our personal pieces, and we've fallen into those seven deadly sins. And it goes back to some of the things that you learned in as a kid in Bible school about the seven deadly sins, and they are pride, greed, anger, envy, what is gluttony and lust, and then one of them is called sloth. And that is a word that means lack of spiritual work, that we haven't elevated our spiritual consciousness to a high enough degree that we would be able to, our energy field would stand off whatever type of virus and whatever types of psychic attack that came our way. So when our energy field is strong and we've worked through our personal pieces, and we're building a vibrant energy matrix around us, then a psychic attack would just basically bounce off of our natural shields of protection. That's why you've heard that saying that God protects the innocent and children. And that's the idea, is that their natural energy field emanates that high vibrational frequency. And so whenever something was intended to attack them, like a psychic or spiritual attack, or in the case of the virus, like an organic attack, then it wouldn't be able to stick in that matrix and do harm. It would basically just be kind of bounced back out of there. So that is definitely some of the reasons, is through our pride, and also through the quality of fear. Fear really opens us up to being able to be an easier psychic attack. So that is one of the things that you can definitely pay attention to, is whenever you're running fear energy, is just stop yourself and say, okay, I am attracting to me what I don't want. I don't want to be a part of this virus. I don't want to be limited by all of these things that are put into place to keep me at home and limit me from going out and doing what I like to do. So we have to turn our creative thoughts towards our desire. And this is where we step up our game into our role as natural born creators and determiners, and begin to intentionally intend and create and dream and visualize what it is that we want to be a part of right now. We like being able to go out and eat at a nice restaurant whenever we want to without having to do takeout. We like being able to go to the grocery store and see all of the shelves fully stocked. We like being able to go up about our day-to-day work and build our dreams and take our kids out to the zoo and to birthday parties and all of the things that we've gotten used to being able to do. I feel like this is a huge wake-up call, and I just think it's so important right now that we shake ourselves out of the rut and realize that nurturing the spiritual aspect of ourselves, it's not just something that we do on Sunday or Saturday or whatever day that you pray, but it is a part of our day-to-day life, and it is an important part in being able to thwart this very intentional dark force, cabal, psychic attack on humankind. Another question that came in that is complementary to all of this as well is what can I do to help? And this is a great question. Even though there are some of you that have some really powerful, amazing gifts that can be a blessing to the mass conscious, the gifts of being able to speak and to share ideas and share resources and inspire and encourage, the gifts of being able to heal, of being able to take people that are in a medical crisis due to the virus and help them to turn their health around and regain vibrant health and well-being, the gifts of being able to protect, of serving us, of helping to pull together nurturing meals that can support and sustain us. There are so many different ways that we can share our gifts, and if ever there was a time for us to share, this is the time. For those of you who feel totally stuck and I don't know how I can help, then what I would suggest is that you make it your business, especially if you're bored out of your mind and you're stuck at home and you can't go to work and you're afraid of the future. What I would suggest doing is morning, noon, and night, taking some time to send out a strong visualization out to the universe and just hold a dream for the future. And I would just make declarations to creation, to the angels, as if they're happening right now. But as you are sending out these affirmations and these declarations, I would speak it as if it is right now, like in the presence, the present tense. So for instance, I am grateful for fully stocked grocery stores. I am grateful for the support in my neighborhood. I'm grateful for my family and loving friends. I am grateful for health and for vibrant well-being. I'm grateful for protection from forces that are unseen. I'm grateful for the angels bringing in information and ideas and support and encouragement during this time. I'm grateful for the light. Whatever it is, this is a very simple thing to do, and at the same time it is so powerful because as you send out those streams of information, we are all interconnected through a mass conscious mind. So as you hold that vision for light, for unconditional love, for vibrant well-being, for kind of holding ourselves together as one against the dark forces, then you're sending out to everybody in the community, just both local, but the community at large as well. and you're helping to remind them that they too are an aspect of the divine mind. They're an aspect of the light, and they too can join in, and we can recreate. We can recreate wonderful, healthy, thriving communities where we're free to come and go. We can recreate all of those things. I really feel like that it is a huge possibility that we might be limited on our resources in the coming days, especially like being able to use our phones, our computers, the internet. And so if and when that happens, I think it is so important that we remember that we are light. We are an aspect of the divine mind. And because of that, we are able to connect to everybody. So you can send out a message to your mother if she lives 1,000 miles away. You can use this aspect of yourself that's a part of your birthright to send a message to your son that might be in Afghanistan or in Europe or wherever. You can send a message to your angels. You can share light whenever we are in dark times. And it brings up one of my very favorite movies is The Lord of Rings. And in The Lord of Rings, there's one of the scenes where the Queen of the Elves gives the gift of light to Frodo. And she says, Frodo, let this light from our most beloved star, Eleanor, be a light to you in your darkest hour. And I think that when we were created, our soul was gifted with light from the Holy Spirit, from our supreme creator, creatress, however you want to think of God, goddess, all that is, the Holy Ghost, however you see the divine architect. We were gifted with light. And we actually are all star seeds. So rather than from the star Eleanor, our light is our own starlight. We are all kind of stars that are in training. And at some time, our soul will gather enough of our light that we can shine just like a huge, magnificent star. So when and if that things kind of go dark, or if we get depressed and sad and fearful, then remember that we have within us, within our DNA, it's a part of our birthright. We have this gift of light that was given to us that we can activate in our darkest hour. And we don't even have to wait until then. But we can do that. And just like in The Lord of the Rings, there's this whole magnificent tale of how Frodo had to go on this grand adventure where he was challenged on so many different levels, and all of the other different players in there. You have the beautiful, amazing wizard who is the guide to the very wise being who helps you to find your strength and to find your inner strength and inner resolve to step up to your responsibilities and to honor your contracts, just like Frodo had. It was like the contract of being the carrier of the ring and securing it. That was a part of one of his soul contracts before he was born. And he was challenged so many ways to follow through with this and face life and death regularly for a long time. And he had to face his fears. and he had to take action in spite of his fears. And I feel like that is just a great kind of a story for us to fall back on and realize that we can take action in spite of our fears. And it's so important that we honor our contracts, even if it's inconvenient and it might be scary as heck right now. But to realize that we do have resources that are maybe beyond our scope of being able to understand, like our own angels that can be a huge source of wisdom and comfort whenever we aren't sure how to move forward, but can also help us to activate more of our light and more of our resolve, and help us to remember that we have that light, because a lot of us forget and we think, oh, that's somebody else that's special, or that is someone else that is a light bearer. It's each and every one of us. I feel like if you are drawn to listening to me, even if this might be the first time you've ever listened to my angel Q&As, then I absolutely feel like you are a warrior for light, a star seed, and now is your time to activate more of your spiritual light. If we can all do that, the dark won't be able to influence us, and they won't be able to manipulate us. So the dark forces, you can call them the cabal, the Illuminati. I just think of them as the cabal. But they've been around for a long time, and they want to, what they want to do is to harvest our resources, our light, our creativity, our imagination, our vibrancy, our energy, everything that makes us unique. We are, like I said, we're all stars in training, and we all have so much more than what we might be bringing out right now. We have so much more ability and capability, and they want what we have. They want our resources. And so when we have fully activated our light, and the way I look at this is, for instance, you go out to a party, you come home to your house, it's late at night, and what do when you walk in the house? You turn on the hall light, then you go in the living room and you turn on the living room light, then you go into the kitchen, you flip that light switch, and you go to your bedroom and change your clothes and turn that light on, go in the bathroom, turn that light on. And if somebody was watching from across the street, they would see your lights like go on through the house, just boom, 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 and all of a sudden the whole house is lit up. So in our natural light bodies, all of our chakras, they carry so many little, you could think of them as tiny light bulbs. And whenever all of our chakras are activated and lit up, we are totally magnificent, and we are lit up like a Christmas tree. The things that dim our light are, a lot of it goes back to the 7 deadly sins, but where anytime that someone causes us any negative emotions like anger, fear, distrust in ourselves, any negative emotion, and we are not able to kind of neutralize that negativity in the moment, then it kind of sticks into our energy field, and different healers like to refer to that as issues in the tissues. And that's where you've experienced some sort of a negative charge, and you weren't able to get any reconciliation on that or any forgiveness. And rather than it be neutralized at the time, that it just kind of buried itself and it dimmed some of your light. And depending on the magnitude of the situation and the charge, depends on how much of your light was squelched. And in order for you to reactivate those light centers, you have to go back in and examine that situation and sort of call back your power from that time, call back any soul pieces that you might have lost to the people that were involved with that situation, and do your very best to forgive them for the pain involved. And in that way, what happens is that you're able to let go of that dark energy that was crystallized in time and space and is squelching your inner light. And so it frees up the energy in that chakra so that more of the lights in that chakra are able to shine right now. And there are some situations where you may need to ask forgiveness from somebody else. And this is a great place to get your angels involved. And and I think it's so important that you have a regular meditation routine. So when you meditate, ask your angels, help me to key in on where I might be holding on to anger from the past, or where I might have given away my power or given away my soul pieces. Help to remind me. And this is not something that you just do one time and it's done. Unfortunately, it happens that we need to do this on a regular basis, day in and day out. And right now, we have time on this lockdown situation. So don't tell me you don't have time. We have time right now. And so ask your angels to help give you some clues. And they will just very gently drift across your mind, maybe a person from the past that you had an incident with that hurt you in some way, maybe that you hurt them in some way. And what you want to do is just draw that person into your mind's eye and just imagine yourself saying, in the past, you really hurt me whenever you divorced me after X amount of time with 2 babies and no job and whatever, but right now I intend to forgive you for letting me down, and I call back my power, I call back my soul pieces that I gave to you, and I intend to, and I just pray that you move into your own light. Do your best, do your very best to not intend them any harm, because if you do, then you are keeping yourself in a limited position. Not just them, you're keeping you locked down and more susceptible to psychic attack yourself. So that's one of the good reasons that you want to do your forgiveness work, and that helps to activate your light body. And the more that you can activate your entire energy matrix, then it's like you are just this shining light in your little neighborhood or your community. And by, I think of it as osmosis. It's like your light body that is activated in turn helps other people to kind of grab onto that idea, and they start to get an understanding of what that activation looks like and why it's important. And you start to trade information and ideas. You don't even have to say a word. It's like your light energy field, it just carries so much strength with it, that by the act of osmosis through the mass conscious mind, you're able to share some of the things that have helped you. And I feel like that's a very simple idea, but it's very powerful, is that is by us sharing how we've been able to turn some of the things around, then that's an important thing. But I totally feel like the cure for the virus is an activated light body, because the virus it's an engineered virus, and so our cells, our DNA, they have the antidote within them, the cure within them, and that is healing light and healing love and an activated starseed light body. So that is the cure. And for those that worry about the people that are infected and they're going through, the horrible pneumonia and the heart situation and all of this, one of the ways that you can help them is just in your mind's eye, streaming to them healing light and healing love. And just imagine yourself. You don't have to have any training, although the advanced Reiki training is fabulous and it is just perfect for this sort of thing. But you can use your intention combined with your imagination and your heart, your love, and your desire to be a blessing to that person. Just imagine wrapping them up in light and love, and just with your mind's eye, visualize channeling to them light into every cell in their body. And that's a lot to bite off, but if they can grab hold of enough light, then they can establish balance and vibrancy, depending on if they haven't tipped the scales too far, and also depending on their contracts. There are some people that don't have contracts to stay through this situation for whatever reason. That is not ours to it's not our business, but there are some people that they have contracts that they are closing their soul journey in this lifetime. So to kind of recap, how do I activate my own light body? I think our intention is the first piece, and desire. So hang on a second. But our anything that our heart's desire is behind is really, really powerful. Oh goodness. So intention is what sort of puts yourself out there, is when you intend. Desire, a heart's desire to be a blessing, is it's like the glue there. But use your creative visualization to activate your light. You can just even imagine yourself going through the chakras and just seeing them vibrant and colorful, and activating the light in each of the chakra centers. You can use prayer, ask the Holy Spirit, the angels, your guides, and your teachers. Excuse me. Even you can even ask your ancestors to help you, to inspire you, and help you to kind of key in on what's really important right now. Meditation is one of the keys right now, because when we can meditate, we can hear messages from the Holy Spirit. We can tap into the downloads that our own highest guardian angel can bring to us, like information, codes, light codes that we can take action on. So meditation is such a powerful thing right now. There's a lot of people that might not really have any experience with meditating, but for all of a sudden they're going along through the day and they just have to go lay down and take a nap. And I feel like this is when your angels are giving you downloads, and the only way they can give your downloads is to sort of take you out of consciousness, because your regular waking ego consciousness has a hard time accepting it. So there's a lot of people that are sleeping a lot right now, and it's because you're getting information and data that you aren't really able to process. So, but these are ways. Ceremony is a great way to activate your light body. Affirmations, those are my favorite ways, is through affirmations. I am light. I am love. I am one who aligns myself with the light. I am a star seed. I am of joy. Any, positive affirmations are really important. All right. Went over that. Other things that can help, that you can meditate on, are anything that strengthens the heart energy. The heart is like our rainbow bridge, and as we activate that chakra and all of those chambers in the heart chakra, there's like 33 chambers in our heart chakra, and each one of those chambers contains a lesson. And mostly they're not easy to like embrace or to live through. I mean, some of them are, but some of these lessons that are in the chambers require us to forgive people that have been mean to us or who have let us down. And that's really hard for a lot of people to live and let live and to forgive. So anything that strengthens the heart chakra, I feel like the Om is an amazing chant, a sound that we can chant during meditation to raise our vibrations and to help to activate the heart center. There's a lot of different sounds that vibrate to that center. Just like even the letter E is it helps to really activate and awaken that center. There are some sound baths, like the crystal bowls and the Tibetan bowls are just amazing sounds that really activate and light up the different chakra centers and the heart in particular. So take advantage of those on YouTube. There are so many beautiful meditations. But the three things that I recommend on a daily basis, meditation and yoga. There are many ways to do yoga. Don't make it harder than it is. You can watch some learn some different asanas through YouTube videos right now, or if you have access to books. But a simple meditation routine with yoga is really powerful, because it as we go through the asanas, we're activating the different spiritual centers, and we're energizing them. And if there are issues that are in those different areas of the body, then we will have more access to understanding where they are, and maybe even some ideas of what they are, so that we can then do further ceremony to forgive those people or to work through those issues that are buried there. So yoga is so powerful. And then bringing vibrancy to our system as best you can through clean water and clean, healthy food. Foods that have raw, organic vibrancy are going to be the best ones. So like your juices, green juices and raw veggies, That is a great way to mineralize the organs in the body and the different systems, and to support your system. It's just like if you went out and bought a beautiful new car, like for instance a hot rod, and it needed to run on a high vibrational fuel. You don't go put cheap gas in a expensive hot rod. You burn the best fuel that you can buy. Might not be the best analogy, but if you want that vehicle to run good, then you do not put cheap gas in it. You put the best fuel that you can in it. And it's the same way with us, right? We need to put the best fuel that we can, that is unaltered, because we're fighting against a virus. And if we put a lot of food in our system that's been genetically modified, we're not going to get any value from it. It has no value. The only thing it can do is make us feel full, and that is just not serving us on the long term. Another piece to think about is create the intention to be a part of the solution. In this huge global psychic attack, we can either be a part of the problem, and that is to give in to fear and panic. And every time they've got the news crews on, you're watching hours of TV, and a lot of times the cabal they're running these programs, and they're manipulating our news crews to their benefit, to drive the most fear possible and the most panic and the most chaos possible. And we really need to be in our heart whenever we're watching this, and practice discernment, and do our best to not get emotionally invested in it, and just really be discerning about where we take in information, and ask your angels, is this indeed a truth, or is this being hijacked for the purposes of deception? So intend to be a part of the solution. And so being a part of the solution, I talked about earlier in the video, that is holding a space for mankind, for humanity to come together and to be blessings to each other and a blessing to the community, holding a space of light, of love, and sending out streams of love and light to the governments, especially to President Trump, and to those that support him. Be a part of the solution here. It doesn't matter if you are with him or against him. For God's sake, at this time, get out of your little wounded me self, and step up into the light, and intend to be a blessing for our country, but also for the world at large. Because it's like if we keep this little petty, you're not mine, you're not my idea, so I'm going to do everything I can to thwart you, then you're hurting yourself, but you're also hurting everybody else too. Now is definitely a time to step up into our power as the high priestess, the high priest, the divine mothers, divine fathers, the people that contribute to light, the people that hold a space and hold a vision for those that might be out of balance. Call upon the angels, the archangel realm. They can be a huge blessing and help us to kind of get an idea about little steps that we can take that can be a contribution to the light. I especially like to work with the Archangel Michael and just the symbolism of calling the Archangel Michael and being willing to hold that sword of truth and wear that cloak of protection, that shield of protection that the Archangel Michael can gift us with. Just have that desire and ask, and the Archangel Michael will help you, and that lets us feel more protected and buffered, and that it also holds us to being in our integrity and being in our impeccability. We can't have ulterior motives to profit from this situation. It's like we really need to be in a higher space. Another angelic spirit that I feel is great to work with right now is the Archangel Mary and Mother Mary. There are so many that can be a huge blessing to us, but ask Archangel Mary to surround you with her robes of protection. That is a particularly healing one that I really resonate to. I have a prayer of invocation for Mary's cloak of protection and the Archangel Michael's sword of truth and shield of protection as well on my Angel Connection ebook. So I'll put a link in the description, but it's free, and it's just a simple invocation and prayer that helps you to surround yourself with that healing light and healing love. So anyhow, I hope that this message has helped you to have some ideas of different things that you can do to engage with this time. But I really feel like all of these challenges, if we just create the intention to meet them head on and to do the right thing, that we will overcome those challenges and we will come out on the other side smelling like a rose, so to speak. And in other words, if we intend to live up to our soul's dream and to be in the sweet spot of our highest blueprint, and whatever that means, and whatever it might mean giving up for the ego, then our angels will get behind us and help us, and it's kind of like they're the wind under our wings, so to speak. So if you have any questions about this video or the information presented, then you're welcome to send me an email, or you can put a comment in the box below there, and I'll see what I can get about it. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.